section. So if you saw my last thrift haul, I thrifted another one of these water stands that I'm using as a plant stand, and it is such an awesome plant stand. Also in the home section, this, are you kidding me? It's a tiny little wicker couch. I already have a little throne, but I just found this little couch that is so cute. It was $3.99, and I was actually successful in finding a clothing piece. So I found this black vest, which will go with Daniel's costume. And I actually think that I'm gonna see what this looks like with one of his white button-ups that he already has, because if we could get away without buying another thing, that would be ideal, because we would just buy another shirt and then he probably would never wear it. I think I'm gonna go to one more thrift store that I know has really good, like, textiles. Is that the word? Fabric? Yeah, it's Savers. I'm gonna go to Savers because they always have a lot of like white curtains and sheets. Yes, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna check out their white sheets because I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to make my costume from scratch. It's becoming more and more obvious to me that that's going to be the situation, which I really didn't want to do. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really want to sew. I'm not in the mood to sew, but I want a cool costume.
11 minutes later.
I have found a white sheet. It was $2.75, which was a really great deal. $2.75, and it should be pretty simple. So I'm just going to lay it out on the floor here. Basically, when I look at her costume, it looks like it's just a big tunic lump, and then there's a belt to cinch in the waist. So that seems pretty easy. The most difficult part of all of this seems like the bell sleeves, and I've never made bell sleeves before. So this will be an adventure for all of us. And I've got my jealous boy here. Leo, would you like to say hi? Picture the garment within the sheet. A lot of the times when you have to draft your own pattern, it is helpful to use a clothing item that you already own. So I'm going to go and peruse my closet to see if I have any tunic-esque or boxy dresses already, because then I would basically just trace it out onto this piece of fabric, except I would probably increase the size quite a bit because the dress that Leia wears is pretty big on her, like it's super loose. Okay, I want to show you the piece that I just cut out. So it looks like this, which doesn't look like much of anything as it is currently, but it's long and there's a lot of fabric down here. And let me just show you on the shoulders here. So I made the shoulders and the neck up really high so that I could add in a, what is it called? A turtleneck. So this is the current situation. And I'm basically just going to cut out one more of this, and then I will sew it together at the side seams and see how it looks. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that little bit of a sewing moment that we had together. I'm going to try it on now. I sewed through that really quickly. That only took me about 10 minutes. Again, I have no idea what to expect. Haha, perfect. Okay, so let's get some, let me back up a little bit so that we can really see this. Okay, so this is basically what it looks like, and I think that it turned out really well. From here, I'm just going to like bunch this so that I can see how much fabric I'm playing with on the top here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the armholes, because if you can see, it's just like a weird little keyhole thing. So I'm going to adjust the armholes like up a little bit more so it cuts more to like right here, and then close it up a little bit higher up, because I am going to be making a bell sleeve, so I need to research how to make a bell sleeve. But honestly, for a first try, this is not so bad. I feel a lot better about this than I was when I first started. Like, not gonna lie, maybe you guys noticed, but I was just slightly discouraged. So things are looking up, and I'm going to just fix those armholes.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Okay, that fits on the shoulders a lot better. That's a lot more of what I was looking for. So now what I'm going to do is grab another pattern, and I'm going to trace out the sleeve section and then like bell out a lot, because the sleeves are very, very big on the costume. Okay, so small update. First of all, my camera is dying on me and I might lose you guys, but I'm also losing daylight, so, you know, maybe that's my, signal that I can stop for the day. But I have this horrible habit of wanting to finish my projects all in one day. It's the worst. Basically, I cut out the shape that you saw, and then I folded it in half, and then I sewed along that straight edge. This is what they look like. They're not as bell sleeved as I wanted. I'll see how this looks. I'm gonna sew these to the costume, and then we will see. Maybe if my battery is still alive, you will get to see that.
The next day.
Good morning, everybody. Well, actually it is afternoon. It's about 1:30 p.m. and I have had quite the morning. I went to the Goodwill bins this morning, which is basically a Goodwill outlet store where all of the Goodwill things go to die, and you just pick through a bunch of bins and they unleash bins one at a time, and it feels like a bunch of rabid dogs eating a piece of meat, going through the bins, throwing things. It was absolutely nuts. Now I am back home. I am ready to complete my Halloween costume. I went out while I was out and I picked up accessories pieces for the belt piece. I actually tried it on again, the costume, and I realized that I could do a better job on the shoulders. I know how to sew. It doesn't need to look bad. You know, I sewed on that sleeve and it just looked really weird. The sleeve started like down here and it just looked super weird. So I decided that I would redo it. So I have completely reworked the shoulders, and you can see now this piece is a lot shorter. And I looked up a tutorial and I made a special pattern piece for this dress so that the sleeves would be more billowy, because also the sleeves that I made yesterday were just a little bit too fitted, and I was looking back at the picture and her sleeves are just so full. And there's a lot of different costume renditions of this costume, and some of them have like a more fitted sleeve, some of them are fitted like all the way through the body. But whenever I make a costume, I want it to be as accurate to the character as possible. So my inspiration photo is definitely the photo of Carrie Fisher. So that is what I'm going off of. I made the two new sleeves and they are massive, so these should definitely be a much better size for my arms. And yeah, so I'm going to add on these sleeves and I will catch ya when that is finished. Alright, you guys, I have got the sleeves sewed on and it is looking a little bit better. The seam is right here. You know, a shoulder seam would really come up to probably like right here, but I don't want to fix that because it's really not a big deal. It feels, okay, also it's like very transparent, if you can see my entire outfit underneath here, so I'm gonna have to wear a slip. Yeah, the sleeves are still long. I'm trying to figure out where I want to hem them to. I'm thinking probably about like right here, so that it's just at the tip of my, or like the middle of my hand, like right here. And then the bottom is really long, but it's obviously a maxi dress. So the last thing that I have to do for this costume, well, there's a few things, but I need to add in the little neck piece. There's like, it's a turtleneck. Her dress is a turtleneck. It's like a, I Actually, I think it's called more like a mock neck because it's kind of a short one, but I need to add just like a little piece right here to create that, and then hem the sleeves and then